promoted us his name, really. And that opened, that meant there were 200 cinemas showing it every night in Mexico for the first couple of weeks. And it also meant that some people think that it's a film that it's not. You know, they think it's a television product, it's going to be girls in bikinis standing on. And it's good because I feel that nobody else could have paid for this movie to make it of good enough quality. So I've been criticised, well, how could you take the Scaraga's money? Well, actually, if you're working in film or you're working in music in Mexico, you're working for Televisa. And that's the truth. And there's been some stuff on the net of some of the artists saying, we didn't know that it was Televisa money. It's all television money, you know, it's like, it's all Satan's money in a way, you know what I mean? As soon as you deal with the arts, they all need finance. Thank you.
Question over there.
So the last song that you played, is that a critique? Because I mean, you're talking about money, and if you know the writer, Chavo Flores, it's just totally fun. So like, is that like a critique on the money, on your outtake of the whole film, or what?
That was going to be the opening of the film. That was my original idea when I heard the song and heard the lyric. And then I just felt that, I wasn't sure about putting it in at all, but it just seemed to be so right for the credits. And the whole thing of like, after what you've been through in the film about surrendering and being with space, that at the end to have this kind of funny piss-taking song about Mexicans, you know, the right thing to do. And the one thing that I really realised, which I'm really pleased throughout the film, is the quality of the Mexican sense of humour. You know, the messing around with words, the whole idea of not taking it. So that was a great tool for me, because I'm dealing with pretty big messages as well in the film. It's not necessarily about Mexico, it's more about the human condition that exists everywhere, you know, and I'm just putting that in a Mexican frame.
Yeah, a comment on the question, when I was seeing the phenomenal film, I feel like the Greeks had their Odyssey, Homer's Odyssey, and now Mexicans have this
Hallelujah, brother.
How do you think the film has changed you?
No, I have a, I'm not going to go too long into this, I have an idea that there is no free will. That we're all running on pre-programmed messages that came from many generations and will go through many generations in the future. I didn't choose to go to Mexico. I knew nothing. I mean, before I went, my friends were going, who the hell do you think you are? You know, you go to Mexico, everyone thinks it's like Iraq. They get kidnapped, get their fingers off. I never think it's suspicious, it's not like that, and it seems to be the right thing to do. And so therefore, the whole philosophy that went through the whole film is, there was no storyboard or no script. I just trusted that as I went, like a treasure hunt. Like I find one thing, which would lead me to the next thing, which would be, you know, like Juan Blanco leading me to Baston, leading me to Calle 13, leading me. So it's made me realise that I'm not necessarily in control of what I'm doing, but it can be good.
I just want to say one thing to you, especially. You did this film for money. And I want to tell everybody right here, that's how powerful we are. We generate that much money.
Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, it's gosh, no, say that again, I'm not quite sure I understood.
I just want to put an emphasis to this. You say that you make this film for money. And I just want to tell you, that's how powerful we are as a Mexican, that we generate that much money.
Okay. And I'm not sure that I did it for money. The reason I went to Mexico, I mean, I'm doing my thing anyway, and so therefore going to Mexico and doing my thing made sense because somebody was offering me money to do it. But my thing of mixing things up is why I do it. My love of sitting in front of speakers and listening to music that sounds really, really good.
I think something that is really important to realize is that he's both the director and the composer of the music. He's more of a musician than a film director. Luis, right here. Yeah.
You went to Mexico, you did not know the country, you're seeing it through your eyes, you're discovering many things. How did you put together the storyline, the script? Obviously, there's a sequence.
Yeah,
So how did
basically
that
it's the
come
same
about?
as my last film, which is the same as my first film. It's about the human condition and how, so I'm fascinated with how we all deal with being mad. I think it's quite clear that we've all gone a little bit wobbly, that we don't trust life, we don't trust ourselves, we don't trust each other. So I'm kind of interested in that. So then, from that interest, a shape appears. And again, because it's from a musical base, you'll also, although it's a movie, I work in short form pieces. You'll notice it's all chapters. Basically, it's songs. Basically, I have a song, and I give it a theme, and then I talk to people about that theme, and I talk to people who write lyrics about that theme. So then I've got like 12 themes, and they're kind of big and universal. So, but how do I choose? It's very strange. I'm not really quite sure how. When we were editing, and it fell together in such a way, surprised me as much as it surprised. It's a miracle. Yeah.
Where did you buy that? The case?
We had
Amazon.
we had the premiere in Mexico.
What was the question?
Which I don't know if you know, it's like the big kind of institutional, concert hall, 1,200 people. Escalaga was there, the Hecho was there, Sergio Rao was there, Molotov, everybody was there. And to be in that room, especially the Chavela Vargas section, which, is incredible to me every time I watch it, but yeah, it is kind of what I expect actually. I don't want to be arrogant about it, but it's something that people keep saying to me, the one thing, I've cried for an hour of your movie. And it's not because it's a sad movie, or it's because it's hitting something that is below the surface. I'm not really quite sure what that is. It's spiritual, it's some kind of connection to beyond yourself, whether it's as whoever you are as Mexicans, or whoever you are as just human beings feeling like Chavela, talking about an old lady who's on the doorway of death, talking about death. That's big shit. So yeah, in a way I do expect.
Question over here.
Yeah, thank you.
Given that I'm Mexican, I have family all over the country. You have a list, and beautiful job, and I want to spread the word to all my family, and I want them to watch it, which is why I asked about DVDs, but do you have a list, a website that has all the theaters across the country?
Yeah, I mean, Pantaleon, whose name you saw in the top right-hand corner, they're the people who are distributing it. Across the country, it's not happening yet. Basically, it's just coming out in Los Angeles, and that's why it's really important that we make it the first weekend. If we don't get people in the cinema, that'll be the end of it. Because the movie world's like that now. It's really ferocious. That if we don't get cinemas, it'll be the Monday, okay, that was so good. Next, oh yeah, give us some more gladiators or something,
Let me try to answer that question. In the newsletter that I sent, you received that. There's links to the trailer, to the bios of all of the performers, and also the list of the theaters where it's open. And again, I can't emphasize enough what you just said. The first weekend makes or breaks a film. Okay, so can everyone raise your hand who's going to meet somebody on the first weekend? All right, that's what we wanted. Okay, Ophelia, you be the last. Maybe two more. Real quick, come on.
My question is, do you make a CD compilation all the music? It's gonna be a CD?
Yes, yeah. He already answered that question. Yes, right here.
Okay. How did you choose the singers in the movie?
When I first got to Mexico, knowing nothing, I just sat down on YouTube and started looking at stuff, and my producer in French time fed me stuff, and then I had my sister, and then as I met people, they just kept feeding me stuff, and basically, I like that, I don't like that. And so it was all totally personally driven.
Thank you.
And not planned, again, just one thing leads to another.
It's a wonderful job.
Yes.
I was wondering, so you said you are focused is mostly music and you like to make music. When the artists were working together in your film, it seemed as if they were collaborating. Were they aware of their collaboration? Was all you mixing it?
I mean, sometimes, like Lucas Barza, when I'd done the thing with Lila, I took that to him and I said, oh, use that melody, let's write some new words. And so that kind of collaboration. But like Molotov and Calle 13, they didn't know at all.
Nice.